Okay, students, now a very good evening. So sorry for the delay for around 50 minutes. Okay, we can start now. Okay, we have basically studied part 1 until all the way to part 3. So let's do a quick revision before we move to part 1, yeah? So we move to part 4, sorry. So for part 1, we know we should use the QKFA technique, okay? And then it's about short text, and then the question types, we can like the purpose of the newspaper, or which of the following statements is true about the group discussion. Okay, so these are some of the sample question types, like the car sales report says. Okay, and then I think it's good to go. Let's move on to part 2. So part 2 is basically it's a objective question, and then refers to the basic grammar or words that they will test you on. And then we even look through part 3. So part 3 also we use a QKFA technique, and we have learned how to identify the paragraph, underline the paragraph, and all that in the previous lesson. So let's go to today's lesson, which is part 4. Okay, so part 4 is basically about gap text. So this is a sample question, like you are going to read about a poem review. 6 sentences has been removed from the text. Choose the sentences A to H, the one which fits each gap, 27 to 32. There are 2 extra sentences which you do not need to use. So mark your answers on the answer sheet. Poem review. Okay, the living photograph. So this is basically a poem review, and you can see that there are gaps here. So you just need to fill in the alphabet lah, A to H. Okay. So now, how can we tackle this question? Very simple. Okay, for example, I teach you this method. Teacher right here. B S A S C. Okay, so this is the short form for it. Okay, so I make it a bit bigger so we can see. Yeah. Okay. So what does this mean? Okay, B stands for. Okay, let's go down. And then I just do it in 12. Okay. So let's go down, and we get to 12 here, yeah? Okay. So I put an arrow, I insert an arrow, and then as I explain, you can see. Okay, so B is before sentence. Does it mean before? Okay. What does S stands for? Sentence. Okay, so let's go here. So we refer to S as sentence. So what does A refer to? Is after. Okay, sorry about that. Let's get here. Okay, and then what does S refer to? Sentence. And what does C refer to? C refers to connect. Okay, so we can change the font size. Okay. So this is the technique that we use for part 4, which is BSASC, which is before sentence, after sentence, connect. So the sentence that you're going to fill in this gap, okay, that you can see, this is the gap. Okay, so the sentence that you are going to fill in this gap must connect the before sentence and the after sentence. Okay, so now let's see. I think the important part, this is the before sentence of this gap, right? So the very first thing that you do is just underline. Okay, you want to underline the whole thing also can, or you just want to underline this sentence. Okay, so what is the after sentence? Okay, then you can just put here BS. This is the before sentence. And then you read and underline the after sentence. Okay, so I believe that the title of the poem is suitable. Okay, so maybe this is the after sentence. Okay, let's highlight this. Okay, and then underline it. And then you write AS, which is after sentence. Okay, so now this is the before sentence. Okay, we have an arrow here. We can draw an arrow. Okay, so this is the before sentence. Okay, it's just too small. Okay, so this is the before sentence, and then we have the after sentence. So this is the after sentence. So now we need to find a sentence that fits in this gap, and it connects the before and the after sentence. So I think the important part is when the person looks at the photograph of herself and her grandmother when she was 3 and she reflects on her relationship with her grandmother. So the above sentence talks about the reflection of her relationship with her grandmother. So what does the after sentence talk about? I believe that the title of the poem is suitable. So something to do with the relationship, the reflection of the relationship, and also the title. So what sentence do you think is suitable for 27? Okay, so what sentence do you think is suitable for 27? Let's see here. As a person who loves to read poems, does it talk about you? No. I liked no. It clearly creates no. Okay. I like the poem actually aging, the strength of the poem, or at this moment, this poem became really close to me because I loved my grandmother just as much as the persona did. Because the before sentence talks about, reflects on her relationship with her grandmother, something to do with relationship. And then the after sentence, I believe that the title of the poem is suitable. So the connecting sentence must also talk about relationship. Okay, if you look at A, does it talk about relationship? No, it says this enables us to recall the moment. So it's talking about the moment. If you see in in sentence B, it talks about you, about your opinion about the poem. Okay, so it doesn't talk about any relationship. Okay, so C, you like the poem because you get to know or learn about that aging and all that. It doesn't talk about relationship. Okay, D, it clearly creates an image that a grandmother, although is physically gone, okay, but still living in the photograph. This may suit the gap, okay, because it talks about the grandmother, but it still didn't talk about relationship. It's talking about the physical appearance of the grandmother, about an image of the grandmother. And then E is about you liking, and then 7 is about aging and dying, so no, nothing to do with relationship. And then G is about strength of the poem. So the only thing that is talking about relationship is about I loved my grandmother. So something relationship between you and your grandmother. So the most suitable answer is H. Okay. Now let's look at the next sentence. Okay, we will go one by one with this. Okay, so the next sentence, let's just underline maybe this one. Okay. So just put here BS. This is the before sentence. Okay. And then we get an arrow here. Okay, now let's look at the after sentence. So what is the after sentence? So there is a gap here as well. Okay, there is like a gap here and then continues here. So it's okay. We can just consider this as an after sentence. Okay, something to do with presented herself. Okay, we underline it here. It's quite a long sentence. So we underline until here. And then we put an arrow. Okay, so this is after sentence. So we can write here as AS. Okay, AS. So it's after sentence. So now we need to find a sentence that's connecting both. So let's look at the before sentence. The before sentence is talking about smile, okay, living, breathing, describing about how the grandmother looks in the photo. And the after sentence is also the description, like the grandmother looked younger in the photo. So it's all about how the grandmother looked. So what can be the answer choice for 28? Okay, so what can be the answer choice for 28? Actually, the before sentence is talking about the image of the grandmother, right? Living, breathing, smile. And then the after sentence is also talking about the image of the grandmother. So we need to find out what sentence is talking about the image of the grandmother. So let's look here, and we know very well why is the word image. Anything about image, yeah? It clearly creates an image that her grandmother, okay, although it's physically gone, but still living in the photograph. So shall we see, is the answer D? Yep, the answer is D. Okay, because it talks about image. Okay, now let's look at question 29. Wow, question 29, it has after sentence which shares the similar with the 28 sentence, and it doesn't have of the before sentence is actually here, okay, which talks about the image. This is the before sentence. Okay, so what can it connect to when it comes to 29? Okay, so let's look 29. So the before sentence refers to the image, and the after sentence also talks about image. So let's see, what is the between sentence that talks also about image? Okay, the strength of a poem is the way the persona describes her grandmother. Also talks about the image of the grandmother. So the answer is G. Okay, so now let's look at 30. We try with question number 30. Okay, this is the before sentence. Underline this. BS. Before sentence. Okay, and then let's look at the after sentence. Wait, we put an arrow. Okay. And then we have a clear after sentence. As a human, I need to accept it. Okay. So this is the after sentence. So I just write here AS. Okay, after sentence. And then I put an arrow here. Okay. So now let's see. This is the gap. Sorry about this. Okay. Okay. So now let's look. This is the gap. Okay. So another strength of the poem. So it's something, the before sentence is talking about a strength of the poem, is that it carries two very important messages about aging and photograph. So it's talking about aging, photograph. Okay. What is the after sentence? As a human, I need to accept it. So it reflects something about aging. Okay. So let's see what answer fits in the best. So let's see. Go back here. Let's look at aging. Anything talking about aging? There you go. Actually, aging and dying is apart. So, answer is automatically F. Okay, it's F. And let's try question 31. Okay, let's see the before sentence. Okay, the before sentence is pretty long. But never mind, we just underline here to here. At least we can know what is it about. Okay, so this is the BS, before sentence. Okay, now let's look at the after sentence. The after sentence, this is the after sentence. Okay, so this is the AS. After sentence. Okay, now how to connect it? So let's look at the before. We should realize that growing old and dying is inevitable in life. That's the before. So it's talking about growing old and dying. And the after sentence is, I also like the other message conveyed in the poem, that photographs are important. Something to do with growing old and dying and photograph. Okay, the importance of photograph. So what sentence do you think matches 31? Okay, what sentence do you think matches 31? Okay, something to do with growing old and also the importance of photograph. So let's see. What sentence talks about growing old? There you go. I got the opportunity to learn that aging and dying is a part of life. Correct? So the answer is C. Okay, because growing old and dying is inevitable, it's a part of life. So clearly the answer is C. Okay, let's look at question 32. Okay, question 32 only has before sentence, but never mind. We try to find a suitable sentence for this that connects this sentence. So it only has a before sentence. Okay, so it only has BS before sentence. So now we need to find a sentence that connects with the before sentence. Okay, let's look at the before sentence. We should take a lot of pictures, taking a lot of pictures and talking about precious moments and valuable experiences. Okay, so let's go and see what sentence is talking about moments, valuable experiences. Okay. Okay, there you see moments. This enables us to recall the moments back. So the suitable answer is A. So this is how you use the BSASC technique to answer part 4, which is before sentence, after sentence, and the sentence that you're finding for must connect these both sentences. Okay, so now let's move on to part 5. Okay, so let's look at part 5. This is the final part in the reading paper. So this is the sample instruction, yeah. So questions 33 to 44. So we interviewed 6 students about the poem, The Charge of the Light Brigade. Okay. The 6 students shared their knowledge about the poem. Read the text below and answer the questions that follow. Okay, so The Charge of the Light Brigade, and these are the 6 students, and they have shared about their knowledge about the poem. So there's A, B, C, D, E, and F, all the alphabets. Okay, let's look at the first instruction. Question 33 to 36. Which paragraph A to F describes the 6 students' knowledge about the poem? Okay, write your answers on the answer sheet. Okay, so let's look at this sentence. Okay, the key word here is we can use synonyms, okay, to find out which paragraph it is. Like the themes explained in the poem are courage, sacrifice, patriotism, the nobility of soldiers, loss of life in a war, and taking orders without questioning. So we see the key words here are actually courage, sacrifice, patriotism, or nobility of soldiers. These are the key words. You remember the QKFA technique? The same thing. So read the question. That means we read the statement. Here it becomes not Q. Here it is SKFA. Okay. It is called SKFA. Okay, that means statements, keyword, find, answer. So first you read the statements. Okay, and then you find the keywords. These are the keywords like courage, sacrifice, patriotism, the nobility of soldiers. And then use these keywords to find the answer. So who is the person who is actually talking about this? So let's see. Who is the person who is talking about this? There you go. You see? F. Themes and moral values. Qian Li. It's talking about courage, sacrifice, patriotism, the nobility of soldiers. You see, the keywords are present here, so the answer is F. Jian Li. So you write here F. Okay, so now let's look at 34. In the first stanza, the writer explains the tone. So the keyword here is about tone of foreboding, and frightening with words like the valley of death. So this is another keyword for us. Okay, so let's find the valley of death, or let's find the word tone. Where is the valley of death? There you go. You see, the keyword is present here, like the valley of death. So who is talking? Farah. Okay, so the answer is E. Okay, next. This poem has a historical background. So the keyword here is historical background. It was the battle of, okay. And then they even have given you a number here. So this also can be a keyword. So let's find this keyword. Historical background or the number. There you go. Historical background is present here. Okay, even the number is present here. So it is Sham A. Okay, the battlefield is a valley. So this is the keyword, valley. So let's see. Can we find this keyword? We have here the word valley, but never mind. We try to find. The battlefield is a valley. So it is Anita. D. You see? So remember, for part 5 is SKFA, which is read the statement, find the keyword in the statement, and then use the keyword to find the answer in the given text here. Okay? Sometimes we can even use synonyms. Okay, let's look at questions 37 to 40. Okay. Complete the notes below using the information from the text. Choose no more than one word. Okay, remember this. Choose no more than one word from the passage for each answer. Write your answers on the answer sheet. 6 students shared knowledge about the poem. Shared their knowledge about the poem. Okay. In stanza 3, the writer explains the shock, fear, and sorrow. And the keyword here is into the jaws of death. Okay, we can also have another keyword, shock, fear, and sorrow. So what is the missing word here? So let's look. Where are they talking about shock, fear, and sorrow? There you see. Tone of shock, fear, and sorrow. So what is the missing word here? In stanza 3, the writer explains the tone. So the missing word here is tone. Okay. Okay. So then the other sample questions also. Let's look at one of it. Went on horses through the extremely dangerous. Okay. So 600 soldiers. So this is the keyword. So let's look. They went through extremely dangerous. Okay. This is another keyword. Okay. So let's look. 600 soldiers, extremely dangerous. There you go. There's word here 600 soldiers. But anything mentioned here? No. Maybe we can read other paragraphs to see. There you go, 600 soldiers, extremely dangerous valley. So I think the answer is valley. Yes. Okay. So they believe that they should not question, or as their duty is to die for their country. So that means something to do with should not question. So this is like the keyword. Okay. Die is to die. Okay. So this is like the keyword for their country. So let's find these keywords like should not question or is to die. Okay. Let's find should not question or is to die. There. They should not question or disobey as their duty is to die. As their duty. So let's see, is it duty? Oh, disobey. Sorry. So question or disobey. You see, the keyword is here. Should not question. Duty is to die. So disobey. Okay. However, they charged in the wrong direction. So the keyword here is wrong direction. Due to. Okay, now let's use the keyword wrong direction to find the answer. Can we find the answer for wrong direction? Yes, the answer is miscommunication. Okay, the answer is miscommunication. So it's, where is it? Okay, found it. Okay, good. So it's due to miscommunication. Okay, so that's all for the reading paper. We have covered part 1 all the way up to part 5. Okay, so during the next lesson, we may discuss on listening questions. Thank you. Enjoy your Sunday. Bye.